What's up, gamers? This is Proto, and welcome to another episode of Like or Dislike, where we look at some of the latest games that are coming out, tell you what we think about them after we get our hands on it, do a little pros and cons, while showing you gameplay all at the same time. And today we are looking at Rage 2. Now, Rage 2 is a mix of an open-world, first-person shooter, crafting, and light RPG elements game. It picks up after the events of what happened in the first Rage game, so if you didn't play it, you won't be lost when they talk about certain characters and events from it. Now, the Authority, which was the main enemy from the first Rage, returns to try to take over the Wasteland. They attack your camp and you're the only ranger to survive. Now you have to go out into the Wasteland and reunite the factions again that helped take the Authority down beforehand. Once you get through the initial part of the game, you're free to go to any mission you want to at your own speed. Each faction has their own tasks for you to complete to gain their support. You will get more side missions from the locals in the camp seeking help that will also make your faction support progress faster. So make sure you walk around and talk to everybody in the camp. And you actually run into a couple of funny conversations at the same time. And you'll see some funny things going on, like people fighting one another or people just having disputes about stuff. Now, being a ranger, you have abilities that help you in combat. Now, each have their own unique feel and can be upgraded to make them even more powerful. You have an overdrive mode that makes you more powerful for a short time, and you charge it up by getting kills in crazy and destructive ways. So make sure you just don't go for a headshot. If you see a barrel, go for it. Use your abilities, cause a chain combination. The higher the combination, the faster it'll build up, and it definitely comes in handy when you're fighting bigger and stronger enemies. And you can also upgrade your overdrive mode as well. Now, combat is fun with the variety of weapons and the enemies. Like I said, with your ranger abilities, everyone will never feel the same. You might be fighting the same enemy 2 or 3 times, but with the way that you can fight and the weapons you can use, it definitely makes it fun. Now, like I said, you have different enemies you can fight, and they're not just going to stand up there unless you shoot them. They'll actually flank you. If they lose sight of you, they'll go looking for you, and they'll even ambush you if you give them the opportunity. So I kind of like that, an AI that thinks a little bit. Now, you also get to do convoy fights where you run across convoys driving in the wasteland. Now, they can be a lot of fun too. You have different convoy types with their own level of difficulty and units protecting them. You can have simple convoys that just have a couple of vehicles protecting them. You take them down, then you take down the convoy vehicle. You have heavy convoys that have like tanks protecting it, and you gotta take them down. And sometimes those vehicles have shields on it, so certain weapons don't cause as much damage. So you gotta keep that in mind whenever you're going against fighting convoys. Now, you can customize your vehicle that you initially get in the game with more weapons, like I said, to definitely help you against shielded vehicles. Or you can use other vehicles that you find in the wasteland. You can pretty much capture these vehicles, take them to a depot, and now they're yours to use. You can call for them. Driving around the wasteland can be fun because you run into random events like this, because you run into convoys, you run into other factions fighting each other. You'll have random events that'll pop up on you. But it can feel boring sometimes when you're just driving and there's nothing going on. Now, you have racing and what they call Mutant Bash TV, where you have to kill mutants in different events, stacking up combos to earn more money. So that changes up the pace, it changes up the usual of doing all the missions. Now, graphics wise, the game is very smooth and looks very nice. The voice to lips talking is pretty good. Even when they're up close in your face, you can see the sweat, you can see their mouth, you can see their tongue, and voice is pretty good on that. Now, the transition from cutscenes to actual gameplay I thought was very good. You know, some games you just have like this elaborate, very detailed cutscene and you go back to the game. Pretty much all these cutscenes go right from the game. You walk to the person, the cutscene starts, and goes right back to the game. So there's no real visual difference. And all this gameplay that you guys are seeing was captured on the Xbox One X. So with all that being said, let's take a look at the pros versus the cons. And we'll start off with the pros. The first one we're going to look at, of course, is the combat. The combat in this game is extremely fun to me. Like I said, with the variety of weapons, your ranger abilities, and everything that can blow up in this world, every firefight will never be the same or feel the same. The second pro we're going to look at is the story. And this is really more on a personal side. I like the story because it never really came off being too serious. It had its funny moments because as your main character, he talks and he tells you how he feels about certain things. And I like that. He's never taken nothing too serious, but he knows what he's got to do to get things done. And the last one we're going to look at is the destructiveness of this game. When I tell you nearly everything can be destroyed in this world, and it just looks so beautiful. The explosions, the clouds, the enemies. Oh, you have ragdoll physics and body limbs come off. So you will definitely see all that. And if you aim for a certain limb, you can blow it off. So the pros done, let's take a look at the cons. So the first con we're going to look at is the controls can be clunky. And I say this both in and out of the vehicle. When you're switching between weapons in the vehicle, it can be kind of a little annoying. And when you're just using your different abilities and switching between weapons, luckily when you switch weapons, the game pauses, which I like. But sometimes it can be clunky when you're doing a firefight. Now, the next con we're going to look at is the glitches. Now, you will come across a few glitches in the game. Most of the glitches I came across was trying to talk to people and then they was in front of me, then suddenly they're not in front of me, or I get too close to them and I can't talk to them. Like I'm hitting the X to talking and they're not talking and I have to back up. So little small minor glitches. Some people might find that annoying, some people might not. All depends. And the last con we're going to look at, the side missions can be repetitive. A lot of side missions are around the same. You're clearing out bandit camps, you're taking down enemies, you're looking for lost tech, and it can get repetitive. But as each own, it's an open world game. They're not going to have that much variety in them, but you know, they're going to keep a stagnant of them. And that's pretty much the pros and cons. Now overall, I've been enjoying the game. With, like I said, the cons and all, I'm really having fun with it. I love just causing as much destruction as I can with all the weapons and everything going on. So if you're looking for a decent first-person shooter open world game, this might be it for you. If I have to categorize this game anywhere, I would probably say if Far Cry and Mad Max Fury Road had a baby, this would probably be a good example of it because there's a good balance between those two. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Are you thinking about getting the game? Has this helped you decide whether you want to get the game or not? Let me know how you guys feel. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We talk about stuff going on in the gaming and tech world, do reviews on some of the latest games and tech that's out, do top 10 of the newest games coming out every month, and so much more. Make sure to follow us on our social media pages so you can keep up to date what's going on with us, or if you want to reach out to InfamouslyTy or me. We love talking about gaming, so don't be afraid to hit us up. Catch us streaming on Twix and Mixer. You can catch InfamouslyTy on Mixer and me on Twitch. This is Proto, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.